The human cardiovascular system is an extraordinarily dynamic and resilient network, yet for decades, conventional dietary advice has fundamentally misunderstood its biological mechanics. This advice mistakenly pointed the finger of blame at one of nature's most perfect metabolic packages, the whole egg. To comprehend the profound vascular transformation when pairing eggs with dark leafy greens like spinach, we must dismantle the obsolete mid-20th century lipid hypothesis. For years, aging adults have been terrified into discarding the egg yolk, erroneously believing dietary cholesterol translates directly into clogged coronary arteries. Modern clinical endocrinology has entirely debunked this. The human liver is a highly sophisticated regulatory organ. The liver produces approximately 80% of your blood cholesterol. When you consume dietary cholesterol, your liver detects the influx and downregulates production. The true deadly architects of atherosclerosis are not dietary fats, but systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, and a process known as arterial calcification. When the endothelial lining is damaged by sugar spikes and free radicals, the body patches microscopic lesions with a mixture of cholesterol and inflammatory cells. Plaque only becomes truly dangerous, stiff and brittle, when calcium is inappropriately deposited into the arterial wall, leading to potential myocardial infarction. To stop this calcification and clear the vascular network, the body does not need you to eliminate eggs. It needs you to provide a specific biochemical catalyst that works in absolute synergy with the egg's lipid matrix. That catalyst is spinach, and when it is consumed simultaneously with a runny egg yolk, it ceases to be a mere vegetable. It becomes a targeted, pharmaceutical-grade vascular intervention. The magic lies in the irrefutable laws of bioavailability and nutrient extraction. Spinach is a botanical vault packed with cardiovascular protecting compounds, dietary nitrates, lutein, beta-carotene, and vitamin K1. However, there is a massive biological catch. The vast majority of these critical phytonutrients and vitamins are strictly fat-soluble. If you consume a plain bowl of steamed spinach or a fat-free smoothie, your digestive tract simply cannot absorb these compounds. They pass through the gastrointestinal system and are excreted, rendering the healthy meal biologically useless. This is where the egg yolk intervenes. The yolk is a dense emulsion of high-quality fats and phospholipids. When spinach enters the small intestine accompanied by these lipids, it triggers the gallbladder to release a surge of bile. The bile acids emulsify the egg fat into microscopic droplets called micelles. These micelles act as biological transport vehicles. The fat-soluble vitamins from the spinach dissolve perfectly into these lipid micelles. This bypasses the watery barrier of the intestinal lining. Clinical studies show this increases absorption by a staggering 300 to 400%. You are not just eating breakfast, you are chemically unlocking the spinach for your vascular health. Once these aggressively absorbed nutrients flood into the portal vein and enter the systemic circulation, the vascular rescue operation begins immediately, starting with a massive modulation of blood pressure. The dense concentration of dietary nitrates found in the spinach is rapidly converted by the bacteria in your mouth and the enzymes in your body into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a volatile, highly potent signaling gas that penetrates the smooth muscle cells wrapped around every artery in your body. It commands these muscles to instantly relax. As the muscles yield, the internal diameter of the blood vessels expands, a process known as vasodilation. This mechanical widening dramatically reduces the sheer friction of blood flow against the damaged endothelial walls, instantly lowering peripheral vascular resistance and safely reducing systemic blood pressure. By combining this nitrate surge with the high-quality amino acids from the egg white, you are providing your cardiovascular system with the exact biochemical environment it requires. It remains soft, pliable, and fully dilated throughout the stressful morning hours, ensuring optimal heart health. Simultaneously, the synergistic absorption of vitamin K initiates the most critical defense against the hardening of the arteries. Through a complex metabolic conversion in the body, The vitamin K derived from the greens activates a specific, highly specialized protein known as matrix GLA protein, or MGP. In the realm of cardiology, activated MGP functions essentially as a biological traffic cop for calcium. When activated by vitamin K, MGP aggressively scours the bloodstream and the soft tissues of the arterial walls, actively binding to stray calcium molecules. It physically extracts this calcium from the vascular tissue, preventing the arteries from turning into rigid, calcified pipes, and safely shuttles the calcium into the skeletal matrix, where it belongs, to fortify bone density. Because the absorption of this vitamin K was exponentially magnified by the fat in the egg yolk, the body is flooded with activated MGP, actively halting the progression of arterial stiffness and stabilizing existing vulnerable plaques. The neurovascular benefits of this precise pairing extend even further, directly impacting the microcapillaries of the brain and the eyes. The spinach is heavily laden with lutein and zeaxanthin, powerful antioxidants that are notorious for their low absorption rates when consumed without fat. Thanks to the egg yolk's lipid transport system, these compounds easily cross the highly selective blood-brain barrier. Once inside the cerebral environment, they act to aggressively quench reactive oxygen species, preventing the oxidative rust that degrades cognitive function and memory recall in older adults. Furthermore, the egg yolk itself brings a massive payload of choline to the synergy. Choline is the direct precursor to acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter responsible for focus and learning. When you pair the massive surge of oxygenated blood flow, courtesy of the nitric oxide from the spinach, with the neurological building blocks provided by the egg, you eradicate the lethargy and brain fog that typically plague older adults in the morning. This breakfast combination literally alters the hemodynamics of your brain, providing a level of sharp, sustained cognitive endurance that no stimulant or cup of coffee can biologically replicate. To achieve this profound physiological remodeling, the preparation methodology must adhere strictly to the laws of food chemistry. The spinach should not be consumed entirely raw if eaten daily, as raw spinach contains high levels of oxalic acid, which can bind to minerals and potentially contribute to kidney stones in susceptible individuals. Lightly sautéing or steaming the spinach for just a few minutes effectively degrades the oxalates while preserving the vital nitrates and vitamins. The egg, conversely, must be handled with precise thermal care. The incredible bioactive phospholipids and fat-soluble vitamins within the yolk are highly sensitive to aggressive heat. Frying the egg until the yolk is hard, chalky, and gray destroys the very lipid matrix required to absorb the nutrients from the spinach. The egg must be poached, soft-boiled, or cooked sunny side up, ensuring that the egg whites are fully denatured and safe to digest, while the golden yolk remains liquid, warm, and chemically intact. When this specific culinary protocol, liquid egg yolk flowing over lightly wilted dark greens, is executed daily over a continuous 30-day cycle, the internal metabolic architecture undergoes a radical and measurable shift. The systemic low-grade inflammation that drives arterial damage cools significantly, often reflected in a sharp drop in clinical markers like C-reactive protein. The lipid profile optimizes, not by artificially lowering total cholesterol, but by improving the ratio of HDL to triglycerides, shifting the LDL particles from the small, dense, dangerous variety into the large, buoyant, benign type. The blood pressure normalizes as the endothelial cells regain their capacity to produce and utilize nitric oxide. The individual experiences a profound return of morning vitality, free from the mid-morning crashes associated with carbohydrate-heavy breakfasts. To view this pairing merely as a delicious meal is to profoundly underestimate the intricate, unforgiving laws of human biochemistry. By introducing this precise combination of complex lipids and potent vasodilators into your gastrointestinal tract every morning, you are deploying a highly sophisticated, science-backed pharmacological agent that forcefully overrides the pathological pathways of cardiovascular aging. You are deploying master proteins to actively extract calcium from your arteries and flooding your brain with neurochemical precursors. It is the ultimate demonstration of functional nutrition, proving that you possess the absolute biological authority to seize control of your vascular health, ensuring that your arteries remain clean, flexible, and efficient, reclaiming the resilient physiology required to thrive in later life.